Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye, up, bye, up. This is a good one. Let's get to the intro. Welcome back to the channel, and if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking, and I appreciate your support. I'm very humbled by it, right? So let's talk about the follow-up to the Stockton mass shooting. Man, it gets worse and worse, and look, I could have seen this one coming. Yesterday, an interview was conducted with Mbnel, the rapper who was allegedly shot in the leg, with his father, right? And his father, whoa, Nelly, had sure enough to say, right? He had a lot to say. And you know what? Now that you hear it, there's even more cowardice acts that were committed prior to this cowardice ass shooting. Now, we know what happened in Stockton. A little girl's birthday party was shot up by one or more individuals. Those suspects are still at large, but according to the detectives in the case, they do have several leads because, like I said, the streets don't be talking, the streets be telling, right? And a lot of people have a lot to say, and especially in a small, consolidated city like Stockton, people right now are upset. They're upset with gangs. They're upset with violence. They're even more so upset than anything because there was children that got murdered at this party at the hands of gang members, right? And all over a beef online between rappers going at it and gang members going at it. Words, man. Words speak volumes, right? Nowadays, words will get you hurt. In this case, Mbnel was shot. Another fellow rapper was shot. And even Mbnel's wife was shot in the buttocks like Forrest Gump, right? Now she has to fucking worry about getting a box of chocolates. It's upsetting. But what's even more upsetting than that is the fact that this man pulled up to that party knowing his life was in danger, knowing that there was people actively seeking his whereabouts and looking for him, and they got the drop on him, and boom, he was targeted. Now, this information is all leaking out from media, from big-time media to social media, and we're putting it out there, right? Let me explain to you what his father had to say. His father, Lou, was, of course, interviewed, and he said that he has talked to Mbnel. Mbnel is all right. His daughter-in-law, who was shot in the ass during this altercation, is also okay, but they are scared for their lives. His son did call him on the phone and say, Dad, you know, I'm going to tell you guys right now straight up, don't tell anyone I called you. I'm in fear of my life. He feels that it's going to be an ongoing situation. These guys have targeted him for death. And usually when that happens and people are willing to go to the extremes to go shoot you up at a child's birthday party, it's pretty damn serious. But here's the cowardice kicker of it, right? 2 years prior to this incident even happening, the gangster rapper Mbnel had moved out of the Stockton area due to death threats and people wanting to get on him, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you know that there's some shit going on right there, some shit brewing, you just created chaos, the best thing to do is get the hell on, right? If your life is taking a bad turn in that area, it's time to go. But if you continue to rep that area, if you continue to woof on songs about hurting people and their children, if you continue to disrespect the gang that you left 2 years ago when you moved to Sacramento, the Sacramento area, then what do you expect to happen? 2 years prior to this incident happening, his dad said that his house was shot up, and now him, Mbnel's father, and his mother fear for their lives because they believe that these people who did this, whoever did this, knows exactly where they live because they've shot that house up before. Okay, so it's a situation where his big mouth got him in big trouble, straight up. And people are fucking tired of these gangs. They're tired of every time they go outside, their shootings. They can't take their kids to birthday parties, can't take your kids to the mall, can't take your kids to Chuck E. Cheese, can't take your kids to get a car wash, because at the end of the day, you have to worry about two Edgars confronting each other and shooting at each other. Now, in this situation, this dude Mbnel is pretty known in the Stockton area to be a violent gang member or part of a violent gang. I'm not going to necessarily put it on him and say that he's violent, but he's pretty much well known to be from a gang, and there's a lot of disrespect goes on. If you notice, a lot of these Stockton rappers, Sacramento rappers, Merced rappers, I'm not going to just target fucking people. That's not what I do. But rappers in general nowadays, these gangster rappers, the time has changed. See, back in the days, we knew Ice Cube wasn't going to step on a cockroach. We knew Dr. Dre didn't even do shit on Dre Day. We knew Easy wasn't that E. Okay? We knew Ran. We knew all these things. Hey, we listened to the gangster music because of the beat, because of the flow, because we could identify with the lifestyle. But at the end of the day, we knew not one of these dudes, not one I just said right now, including Ice-T, was going to kill each other. Okay? They weren't, when they dissed each other, the Wild Wild West, Kumo D and Big Daddy Kane didn't talk about killing each other. They talked about killing each other on the mic, right? But these rappers nowadays do not separate rap music from the streets. They don't know how to do that. And I know there's a lot of little wannabe gang members that are going to say, well, that's real shit. Now that's real stupid shit. Okay? The stupidness in all this is innocent babies were hurt. That's the stupidness. The stupidness is that this dude, Mbnel, knowing that people were actively seeking his whereabouts, that were actively looking aggressively for him, if he was scared enough to get on and move to the Sacramento area 2 years ago, according to his father, his own father, right? Then you obviously know what time it is. You know, he should have never pulled up. Now, according to what I'm hearing, it was his friend's daughter's, 6-year-old daughter's birthday party, and he just was there to give a present, right? Whatever the case may be, they were waiting on his ass, because if he was just in and out to give a present in that inn, they outburgered him, right? He got that double-double. And in the midst of that, he gets shot. Now he's put his wife in jeopardy. She pulled up with him. She gets shot in the ass. Imagine how she feels right now. She can't sit. BBL blown out. And she feels like, wow, being with this guy is real life. Now, I know a lot of women and even men, man, they crave and they seek that gangster lifestyle. But I'm here to tell you guys right now, it ain't as pretty crimson and clover and roses and daisies as you think it is. It gets real out there in them streets. When you're online disrespecting people, when you're putting lyrics in a rap song disrespecting their dead homies or talking about what you're going to do, you know, hey, you can reap what you sow. You make your bed, you're going to lay in it. When you're out there making rap songs with lyrics like, if I see you, I'm smacking you on sight. I don't care if you're with your children. I don't care if you're with your mama. We up in polls around here. This is real life gangster shit. Meanwhile, you're not even in the area. You're in the Sacramento area hiding out because you've already told your father, and your father knows that you're scared to be in the area because people want to get you. But you continue to make rap music and bait these individuals. Look, I know people are going to say, well, hey, he got what he had coming. In a sense, yes. If you speak it to existence, it comes, right? But at the same time, like I said in my video yesterday, there's a time and a place for everything, and you got to learn how to read, right? You got to read the room. If it's a children's birthday party, you know that's where he's going to be lacking. That's where he's going to pull up. You already got to have the integrity, the morals, the respect to know, and just the wherewithal to know, man, that's a kid's birthday party. There's going to be several children in attendance. I ain't going to take it there. And it's not because I don't want to catch this motherfucker. I really want to get him because he dissed the dead homies. He dissed the avenue. He dissed the block. He dissed the set. Listen to me and think to yourself what I'm talking about. Who cares? Look, at the dead homies ain't tripping. They're gone already. Okay, let them rest. They're gone. There's nothing that this guy can do anymore to hurt them. Okay, the block is going to be the block tomorrow, whether there's blood on it or not. The city is always going to be the biddy, right? That's just how that is. You know what I'm saying? If your old lady's fat, let her be fat. If he said it, he just told the truth. When it comes to disrespecting and disses, half the time the shoe fits. Who cares? It's just words. It's just one person usually envious of the other person or hating on the other person, and let them spew that hatred, and you keep it pushing, and you keep that money generating, and you keep building on your success, compiling your success. And guess what happens? They stay bitter and you get better. And that's just how that is. I know, because I live that every day. Instead of going back and forth and disrespecting, to which I did before, I realized, I learned, I woke up one day, got up off that pillow and said, you know what? I'm done. I'm done feeding into the bullshit and the negativity, because at the end of the day, what's going to happen? One person's not going to be able to adjust to it. They're not going to be feeling it, and they could do something that they don't really want to do, but they want to show everyone they will, right? And then the retaliation is a must. Speaking of that, the Stockton streets are on fire right now. There's actually people literally putting out videos saying, oh, they're already in retaliation mode. There's already been shootings. There's already been things because of this. Stop your telling ass ways. Look, whatever's going on in the city of Stockton right now, we need to be more concerned with the citizens and the burial of those children. Worry about bringing resources to those families that might not have them to bury their children, or reach out, man, to see what's going on with the vigils for these children. There should be a public outcry to say, you know what, these gang members need to stop, especially in certain areas. Just stop already. Your rap music, the way you're acting, the way you're walking around, children can't ride bikes. And I know a lot of people say, oh, the children can't go out there anymore because you got all this fucking weird shit. They're getting kidnapped and all that. But even worse than that is gang members with guns. You don't never know if your kid's going to come back and get hit with a bullet. But it's getting worse. See, as parents, we don't want to let our children outside because we're concerned with their safety. But now you can't go to the mall. You can't go to the movies. You can't go to Baskin-Robbins and try 32 flavors, right? Even though there's only 31, you're always hoping there's 32. You can't pour a fucking bowl of Captain Crunch in the morning without worrying about if a stray bullet's going to come through your door because two little knack-ass J-cats are arguing over whose block is better. Well, I'm here to tell you right now, everything's fucked up. There ain't no blocks better. A block is just a block and you live on it. But you could also die on it. And that's what's happening now. You got the mall shooting in San Jose. You got several shootings in Stockton. Like, the shit's not going to stop. And there's people that are in my comments, oh, that's just an everyday thing in Stockton. What's the big deal? The big deal is people are concerned and tired of it. The big deal is children are getting slaughtered and massacred. I had one guy, he had the audacity to say, oh, man, you didn't say nothing about the Goshen massacre. Yes, I did. This is not the first time that children have been victimized and killed by gang members. Okay, it's not the first time, and it's probably not the last, unfortunately. You know, oh, you always speak on the 90s era. You guys had more respect and you didn't do it like that. Those of us that played that gangster shit, and we understood there was rules and regulations to them streets. And women, children, elderly, and civilians were off limits. If you chose to go that route, you can't, you can't fucking worry about everyone. You can't play God to everyone. If some fucking idiot that wants to earn his stripes and prove himself that bad does something to a child, man, that's on him. He's going to have to live with that every day of his life, and he's going to have to deal with that. Okay, so yes, there was things that happened in the 90s, but not as frequently as what's happening now. You didn't have people just walking up in schools, just letting loose. You didn't have people walking in movie theaters, letting loose, bombing shit in the streets, shooting people from roof. It wasn't like that. It was more gangster shit, pulling up on the opposition, the enemigos is what we call them, and airing it out. No drive-bys. Those ceased a long time ago, right? Now, I know that Goshen massacre thing where those two Northerners or ex-Northerners or whatever they are, I don't know their standings at this point. I'm sure one of them told on the other one, but I'm sure these guys are not going to be embraced in the best of standings because they murdered a child. Unnecessarily. They already went in. The victim that they intended to get was not there. So what they do, they off this whole family. That is not gangster shit. That is a cowardice act as well. You're not a gangster if you pull a trigger. Okay, you walk up and use these. Show people, man, that you can handle your business with this, and that. And that's it. And this more so than anything. This is what got you in trouble in the first place. This right here is what can get you in more trouble. This is the only thing that can get you out of it. Your mind. Now, how do you think Mbnel feels? There's all these people so concerned with how's his leg, how's his wife's ass. I don't care how is that wife's ass look unless it looks big and I want to take a peek. As far as his leg goes, he'll be all right, right? But now he has to live with the conscience. He has to live knowing. Not only does he have to live in hiding because, according to his father, when he did make the phone call to let his father know that he was all right, he was very concerned. He didn't even want his father to know where he was at. He is in hiding. So there was some people there that pulled up that petrified him, terrified him. He's scared, okay? He knows that they're coming and they're playing for keeps. He knows that things that he said or things that he's done, even more so, right, have finally caught up to him. Now you have this group or gang or whoever, whatever individuals conspire to do this horrendous act, right? Now they've lost the homeboy. They're going to lose homeboys for this because they will be caught, right? Their hood didn't get who they wanted. Yeah, they shot him, but they didn't get him, right? The way they wanted to. So now they understand that the retaliation is probably in the works. It might be coming according to all these other content creators that say, oh, they're already lining the streets up. Yes, the streets are going to be hot for a while, but they're also going to be hot with ATF, with feds, with cops, because these type of moves right here, killing innocent children, mass shootings, going into birthday parties and letting loose with automatic weapons and things of that nature, that only brings the attention of law enforcement. So yes, the streets are going to be hot with gang members wanting to retaliate or people trying to get the upper hand. But Stockton's always been like that. And look, one guy got, hey, man, it was only a few people. You're speaking for the whole of Stockton. I'm not speaking for Stockton. I'm speaking at Stockton and saying, hey, man, rise up against the oppression of not being able to take your children out to do their thing because you're too scared, because we're all going through it. You know, I'm not going to sit here and poison people against gangs, but I'm going to say gangs are fucking acting out right now. This is a time where this younger generation just don't give a shit. They're EBK every day, all day to the day they die. And it happens more often than others. You know, the age right now, you're not living to the age of 24, 25. And it's all because of this. And social media and the internet makes it easier and accessible to find out a person's address or to pull up on somebody. You know, someone had to let these guys know that Mbnel was going to pull up, him and the other rapper, Fly Doughboy, or whatever his name, Fly Dough, that they were going to, Flyboy Dough or whatever, they were going to pull up, and these guys were lying in wait. It's a cut and dry situation. They knew he was coming. Okay? To what degree of knowing? The whole degree. 100 degrees, 114 degrees. Gang, right? They knew exactly what was going to happen. And it happened. But those poor innocent children, those innocent parents, the people that were in attendance that were not gang related, that had nothing to do with anything, they're the ones who suffered more. They're the ones who lost babies. You can't get kids back, man. You can't get nobody back. Even them shooting this guy over whatever he did is not worth it, because now they've lost their lives. Their families are affected. All the victims' families are affected. The community's obviously affected, because you're hearing the outcry from the community of Stockton that are saying enough is enough. They're tired, man. You know, when gangs were created and formed, they were for because people were being oppressed in neighborhoods. You know, I can speak on the Mexican part of it. I can't speak on the Brothers, man, or the Woods, or any of that, the Asians. But I can say, and I understand the Asians are similar to the Mexican. When Asians came from Vietnam, the Hmongs, the Laotians, the Laos, the Cambodians, they were being oppressed by gang members in the state of California that were pushing up on them because they were immigrants, right? So they came together for power, and these gangs were created. And look, you know, all it takes is one bad apple. Every agenda that a gang is the foundation is on, it's not that anymore. Now it's a whole bunch of tattoos on faces and people running around with guns weighing more than they do, and skinny tight ass pants, and just shooting everything moving all over a rap diss, or someone fucking disrespecting their moms, or whatever it is. It's foolishness, and it's chaotic. And at the end of that rainbow, guess what happens? There's no pot of gold. There's dead kids. This is just a vicious cycle that continues to happen. It's not only in Stockton, but this is just the latest one, not the greatest one, right? And I'll say this about Stockton, man. Stockton has always been a dangerous city if you're in the gang, if you're in that lifestyle, that criminal lifestyle. Other than that, people go on about their everyday lives. Not every single fucking grain of sand in Stockton is bad, but there's a lot of bad people walking on that sand, turning it into mud. I got too much game, man. No added preservatives. I'm going to give you the knowledge you can't get in college. Check the wordplay, right? So Mbnel was scared. Okay, just to repeat it one more time. 2 years prior, according to his father. You know what? I should read the article to you. I'm going to do that so that way you know I'm not just talking gibberish and not speaking facts. I'm going to read the article, and it's going to let you guys know right now what's going on, because I want to make sure that you can you hear me now, right? So, let me see. Let me find it. Here it is. Rapper targeted in Stockton mass shooting is hiding out, fearing for his life after being shot at little girl's birthday party, his father says. A Stockton rapper targeted in the deadly birthday party mass shooting that left 3 kids dead is hiding out and fearing for his life after he and his wife were both wounded, his dad says. Rapper Mbnel was among the 15 shot at a birthday party of a friend's 2-year-old daughter inside Monkey Space, a banquet hall in Stockton, California on Saturday evening, his father, Junior Dongan, says, right? Let's see. Mbnel, real name Janelle Dongan, had previously fled Stockton, was living outside Sacramento. He had returned to the crime-ridden city of 300,000 people to meet his rapper pals at the birthday party, his dad said. Oh, wait, right? He came just to drop a present off at his friend's party, whose daughter was the celebrant, Junior said. But he was shot, but he is okay. He called me and said, don't say anything to anybody, he continued. The Stockton-based rapper moved out of the area 2 years ago because he feared for his safety, including an incident where thugs shot 22 bullets at his parents' house a few years ago, Dongan recalled. He says, my daughter-in-law was hit in the butt. We are worried. I'm worried about my wife, but I can't do anything about it. 3 children and 1 adult were killed in the shooting, which Stockton Mayor Chris Fugazi said was gang-related. That fool was up out of there. Dad, don't tell anyone where I was at. So he was already in hiding. He had already pushed because they shot up his parents' pad, right? And so now he knows that people want his head. And why do they want your head? Because of things you've done or said. But he continued to drop songs, acting hard and upping polls. And in the end, innocent babies are now dead and people are mourning. The city of Stockton, rise up, man. I appreciate you guys, people that tap in. There was no disrespect intended towards the city of Stockton. Someone took it disrespectful. I want to apologize. Look, but you guys know there's a lot of smoke out there, and there's a lot of real smoke out there. For those that know what I know, you know that I know, right? And that's just what it is, man. But this guy right now, man, is going to have to live with his conscience every day, knowing that those children are not only on the shooter's heads, but on his too. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, strong, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. This video is sponsored by Vario Liquors out there in Turlock, California. If you're ever in the area, man, pull up. Support the homie, man. Vario Liquors in the 209. Bang, bang.